The school that I've been at for the last 15 years before coming to Miami Valley was a student body of about 500 kids that were immersed. We also did a program at our school in Kenya where it was only a week long, but we would take kids on cultural educational trips, and we would take them. I took 14 kids up the top of Mount Kilimanjaro, and we went rafting the Nile, and we would take kids on similar types of trips here. But then when they'd come back, they were still in Africa. They still lived in Africa. Tying that into immersion, when we come here and we say we do immersion, I view that now as I'm getting a better handle on it. Those are more exposure trips. They are very good to get involved and exposed and get new perspective. But if they take these ideas that they have and the relationships that they build and injecting that into the classroom, then they are building an immersive type of model because they're expanding what they do in all their experiences beyond this. Immersion, in my mind, means more of a lifestyle. And it's everything that we do. So you are immersed in MBS, and what is MBS going to do? So if we can take what we do in the classroom and expand it outside the walls, and we can expand what we do outside the walls and bring it into the classroom, then you start to build an integrated, immersive type of program. If you're really going to be immersed into something, a community, a program, or a project, you become part of it, and it becomes part of you and who you are. So in the classroom, as I look at here, and I'm encouraged to think outside the box in terms of the immersion method, I want students to be engaged in and be part of what we're doing. If you're not involved in it, the best you can do is absorb some facts here and there and then move on, and you're not going to really learn it. The way to get to learn something is to, in one sense, get immersed. So to fully understand and know it, you have to do it. As a chemistry teacher here at MBS, I'm trying to find ways to get the kids to understand not just the chemistry, but how the world around them works. We have to understand the fundamentals, we have to build a foundation, we have to do a certain amount of knowledge-based things. But once they have that, then they like to take it and say, well, what happens if you do this? And much more of a guided inquiry approach as opposed to a cookbook recipe, follow these steps and you get this result. You have to guide them along to a certain point. But then when they get a certain amount of knowledge built up and they start to make conclusions, let's make those conclusions their conclusions, starting with the what if and the who cares questions. I think any teacher who's afraid of answering who cares and why am I ever going to use this in life needs to re-examine what they're going to do. Because if you're teaching something that really has no value to them, then you really need to stop and rethink it. To make it relevant to them, as opposed to giving the answer, well, you'll need this on an SAT test someday. It's not about the knowledge of the chemistry that I do. Chemistry that I teach here is not the most important thing in my life or in your life. Let's try to take what we have here and learn and move forward, and how can I apply it? I don't care if you're going to be a music major. Let's see what can happen with what we have here. And to expand that beyond the chemistry room and beyond the classroom, I think building relationships with the students is primary and is key. When you build that rapport with the student and you become more than just a dispenser of knowledge, and the students know that you really care about them as a person as opposed to just getting a grade, then you start this pattern of immersion of a lifestyle in education or in learning. And it's not just about sitting in a desk in the classroom, it's about learning about what's going on